Check this out.
It's what the streets want to know.
Hell yeah.
That real, that raw.
The drug's so powerful, it will make you sell the clothes off your back.
It's straight drop, baby.
Yeah, baby.
From the people you want to hear it from. It's time to let the dog off the leash.
Run, Chico, run.
Chico, no.
It's Unleashed, Reloaded.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. My name is Dawgface Calderon. This is DawgfaceTV live on YouTube. My next guest is arguably one of the most outspoken, one of the most controversial people in the world of social media. He's not shy when it comes to stating his opinion. Whether you like it or not, it's none of his motherfucking concern. He don't care nothing about whether you like it or not. You're gonna get this ism, right? And we've been dropping the term with me and my posse, me and my squad. We talk about ism. Y'all know what that is. It is game times 10. You finna get a heavy dose of what we call ism during this conversation. This is not an interview. I always tell you people that I don't interview people. I'm not interested in interviewing people. I don't give a fuck about what you got going on. You can go somewhere else for that shit. That's none of my motherfucking business. None of my concern. Don't care. Go somewhere with that shit. I have conversations with people who are interesting, who have done interesting things, who live interesting lifestyles. I have conversations. It's not just about me talking at somebody or talking to somebody. If you get some game, you're going to get it just what we call through osmosis. You're going to get it because you're listening to two people or more talk about real things that affect real people. Young Goldie is in the building. What's the word, fam?
What's going on, Young Goldie? You know, I had that name, blessed upon me from my uncle when I was coming up. I'm not so young anymore, so I'm just going by Game Gawd Goldie, you know what I'm saying? But I can't change the Instagram hashtag because that's where everybody find me at.
No, change it up. Game Gawd is in the building. You hear me? Because I just told you, you're going to get a heavy dose of this. Listen.
Oh, man, it's going to be so heavy you might overdose. Right. Uncut, pure, raw.
Right. You're gonna get a heavy dose of everything raw. Before we start, bro, I've been following you on social media for the better part of a year and a half, almost 2 years now, right? And what caught my attention is just the boldness and the frankness with which you speak. You are unapologetic when it comes to saying what you say.
And let me tell you where that come from a little bit, right? I didn't even really realize that what I was saying was really, outlandish and crazy to people. I'm just kicking in how I kick it with the people I kick it with. I come from a very unique group of people, group of individuals. And because that was my world. And just recently over the last, 4 or 5 years, I've started branching out into the world. I didn't realize that what I was saying was too crazy because this is how the people that I'm around kick it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then the funny thing about that is, and we're going to get into that too, because there's a dynamic that exists between the have and the have-nots in terms of knowledge and understanding in the application of that, right?
Yeah. And another thing too is a lot of people don't really say what they want to say because they need people to whether they got job opportunities, they got a job, they don't want somebody to say, I'm self-made, I'm self-paid, so I could give a fuck what anybody think because I'm gonna get my money regardless. And when you living free like that, you can say what the fuck you want. I don't care what a motherfucker think. You ain't cut no check to me, so it ain't no loss if a motherfucker don't fuck with me.
Right. And so that's another key component right there, right? Yeah. You're gonna get the best information and the best advice, no matter what you're in. It can be straight line business shit, or it can be street shit. You're gonna get the best advice. You're gonna get the most substantive advice, the most usable advice, the best usable advice from people who are not restricted by what somebody else is going to do, or being connected or tied into somebody being able to take something from them. You can't speak. You can't listen. If you're beholden to somebody else, you can never really speak freely. Whether you are a pastor, you can be a judge, you can be a lawyer. If you're beholden to somebody else for your sustenance, for your money, for your employment, if you need them to survive, you can't never really.
Man, that's deep.
You can never really give it to them raw. Go. Let's talk about just your background first, bro. Where you from? Where you come up at?
I'm from Sacramento, California, so that's Northern California.
Gotcha.
Where we say the game originated from, that's what we like to say.
Mhm.
You know, Bay Area. It's not the Bay Area, but it's close to the Bay Area, you know, and I have family all
Right.
through the Bay Area, Oakland and things like that. So that's where I'm from. You know, when I got a little bit older, I jumped out there to Vegas. I lived in Vegas for about a decade, and that's really where I started to make my name, make some noise, and really come into, you know, what they say I am to this day, you know. And now I'm out in Miami, you know, because I just go where the money is, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So growing up in Sacramento, man, let's talk about that for a second. So I understand the difference between Sac and the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Sacramento is not the Bay Area, but when it comes to attitudes, when it comes to dispositions, Sacramento, it is more Bay Area-esque than it is LA-esque.
For sure. Northern California, I say it all the time. Northern California and Southern California is like two different states. Everything is different. The lingo is different. The dress is different. Just how the gangs operate is different. So it's like, it's not the same at all. We California. That's why I tell everybody I'm from California. They think LA. I'm like, it's not even close. Not even close to the same thing.
Right. And so I'm from Detroit. So the Bay Area in Detroit had a relationship going back to the 50s. Dare I say the 40s?
I say y'all sound like Bay Area rappers.
Yeah. And then we gonna say that y'all sound like us. You know? but there's a kinship between the Bay and Detroit, bro. It always have been one. Specifically the Oakland area, the San Francisco, the Vallejo, the whole Bay Area in Detroit, because the culture is similar. The whole black metropolis thing. The whole majority black. When you talk about the Bay Area, you talk about blackness, bro. Personas.
About Black Panthers.
Black Panthers. Yeah. Black Liberation Army type shit. So Detroit, and I don't know if for people who know about the Bay Area and Detroit, the lingo is similar, the attitudes are similar. And one of the things that is a stark contrast, when people think about California, think about Crips and Bloods and just gangs in general, right?
Yeah.
My people who I dealt with from the Bay going back 20 years, bro, they wasn't necessarily gang affiliated. They was more into, like, Detroit is, gangs are everywhere now, but Detroit is always going to be about the paper. It's always going to be about fashion, money first. Money, cars, clothes, and hoes.
The
Bay Area
mentality.
The Bay Area
heavy on the hoes.
Heavy on it. It don't get no. It don't. We gorilla pimping out this bitch. You hear me? We got the trunk with this shit. So listen. We don't call it the Blade out here in Detroit. You hear me?
Y'all call it the whole stroll. What y'all call it out there?
It's it's like Pimp C said, it's on the web now, baby. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? You can get more money off the web than you can put the bitch on the Blade. You hear me? But it's the culture between the Bay Area and Sacramento is more Bay-like than it is LA. You know what I'm saying? If you want to peep anything about Sacramento, if you can't go to Sacramento, just go to the Bay, and you're really looking at a Sacramento motherfucker. Same shit.
But if you come out here, you know, motherfuckers in the Bay gonna say, nah, it ain't the same, you know.
Of course they gonna say it, because you know how motherfuckers be. Motherfuckers, black folk territorial about their shit. You hear me? You know how we be. So you grew up in Sacramento, man. What was the early childhood like? Did you get into the gang culture, or was it just about I came up around?
Nah. I didn't get into the gang culture at all. I was more the hustler type. You know, I didn't play sports. I was a hustler. I was a dude at school. Everybody called for anything, you know, and I dealt with the Indians. I dealt with the Asians. I dealt with the Mexicans, and they always knew, come to me, you need something, I got it. I hustled to get the things that I like, and I dealt with women, and that's just all I did. Just innate to me. And you know, there's dudes around me who was like in the gang culture, but it was like my mama didn't let me hang out like that. So that really saved me from everywhere that all my friends, it's like, oh, can you go? No, I can't go. They end up going to jail that day. You know what I'm saying? So my mom pretty much saved me, and that ended up me. I mean, I'm just hustling. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm dealing with females, and that's all I did.
Crazy thing, Goldie, about that is what you just said about your mom. Like a lot of times now, when you talk to young black men, right? You never really hear them acknowledging anything positive that they got from their household, bro. You never really hear. It's like when people talk about their parents now, what their parents didn't allow them to do, they talk about it like they were motherfucking hindered in some way.
I see that all the time. They like to dramatize their life. I think that's what the internet is nowadays. You want to dramatize everything, motherfucker. When I was with her, she didn't believe in my dreams. My mama did this, man. Save all that, you know, Lifetime TV shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. You know, I mean, it wasn't the best, but you know, motherfuckers out here throwing their mama under the bus to motherfuckers they don't even know. I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? If I got some negative things to say, I keep it to myself. But the positive things that I can say, I'm gonna say it. You know, at the time, I didn't appreciate it at all. You know, me and my mama was at war. But I get older and I understand she saw what I didn't see. You know, thank God to her that she did, you know, fought me about going here and going there, which allowed me to escape the things that was going on.
Right. I get it. I got you. DawgfaceTV live on YouTube. Game Gawd is in the motherfucking building. Hey, listen. So you've moved around. You went from Sac to Vegas.
Sac to Vegas, but you know, I was always on the road. Damn near lived in LA for a little while, in the Bay, you know. So I've been everywhere, everywhere except Detroit. I ain't been to Detroit.
All right, I got you.
I've been to Detroit once just to handle some business, but I ain't really been there like that.
That's everybody's story. You come to handle business and get the fuck out. You hear me? That's everybody's story. So let's talk about so when I first became aware of you, brother, it was when I saw you on social media, on Instagram, right? I didn't listen at first, right? I just saw the brush of your dog popping this shit, whatever he popping. You know how we be, right? But then one day, I think it's about a year and a half ago, bro, maybe a year and a half ago. I saw one of your videos. I wasn't following you. Every time I saw you on the Explore page. So whatever you were saying, I know it had motion because every time I saw you, it was on the Explore page, and that just is when you make it to the Explore page, you got to have some traction on whatever you put up on Instagram specifically, right? So I saw you on the Explore page and I clicked the video, and you was just like, you went right in. It wasn't no lead up, wasn't no dressing the shit up. You went right in to the subject, and the subject was just about you real heavy on developing an understanding in terms of the proper relationship between men and women, specifically black men and my woman. So it was personal to you when you was giving the game on the woman.
I don't remember what video you talking about. Refresh my memory.
Well, it was about a man's role and how it was about women respecting men and men putting themselves in a position to be respected and not, you know, and you were talking about how men want to be viewed in a certain way and they want to be handled or looked at in a certain way, but they don't possess the characteristics and the quality to draw a woman to them in that manner. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know, that's the underpinning of all of my messages. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I came up. It was heavy on manhood. Before you anything, you got to be a man. That's what I was always taught. So manhood has always been the underpinning of everything that I talk about. And in that sense, I can't remember the video, but yeah, you know, I see it all the time. You want this woman to respect you, but ain't nothing about you respectable. You don't carry yourself in a respectable manner. You sneaking around the house lying like a little broad to your woman. How do you expect to have respect if you're not behaving in a respectable manner? And, you know, I'm just heavy on that period, right? If you want everything start from the head, everything start from the man. Most women ain't out here just treating you wrong for no reason. Now some are, but for the most part, if I were to come into your life and all the foul things you did and all the weird things that you done did around your woman, she talked to you like that for a reason. And that's all I'm saying is conduct yourself as a respectable man and you're going to get respect. It's very few people who just up and disrespect a respectable man, you know, even in the streets. If you carry yourself in a certain way, in a respectable way, in an honorable way, yeah, it's going to be some people who still try you. But for the most part, it's not going to happen. So if somebody constantly getting disrespected, it's because they feel like you should be disrespected. And same way with a woman.
Yeah, I want up top. That's exactly what's happening, man. I want to shoot some questions at you, and I just want to off the top of. And none of this is scripted, by the way, right? All right. I want to shoot some questions to you because I can talk to you all day, bro. But
right,
I have specific things that I want to pick your brain on. Like, for example, so inside the black community, we're gonna go inside the black community. We're gonna come out of it and talk about just men and women in general, right? Because all things are not just about what happens in the black community, but since we are black men, we're gonna talk about because we're more familiar with that than anything else. The relationship between black men and black women, bro, we are so far removed from what we used to be 30, 40, 50 years ago in terms of respect, in terms of honor, in terms of just communication. So we don't respect. That shit is way over there. The communication ain't even there. So you have black men who are blaming black women for the condition of the black family or black female interpersonal relationship. And then you have black women, of course, saying, hey, it's the no good niggas. Y'all, the reason why we what y'all get from us is what is a result of how y'all have handled us for 20, 30, 40 years. My grandma get handled wrong. My mama get handled wrong. And now you niggas are trying to handle me wrong. So this the hate produced, like Malcolm X said, right? We getting what we allowed to happen. Do you think that what do you think? I'm of the opinion, bro, that we in motherfucking trouble, bro. Because it's like a vicious cycle, right? That nobody's willing to step up and to acknowledge to break the cycle. And black people don't, like, when we were in slavery, bro, and we were in the Jim Crow segregated South, we knew who our enemy was, bro. We knew we had to stick together and band together as a unit if we wanted to survive. Not thrive, but just survive to the next day. Nowadays, society is so open, and black people have so many different opinions about so many different things that affect us that we can't possibly operate as a unit because everybody on a different agenda. We don't have no shared experiences no more outside of the color of our skin. Everybody feel like that they can make it on their own without having to go back and pay homage to the basis from which we come from. So black men and black women, what is the root of the problem between black men and black women in terms of why we are so dysfunctional?
Man, hey, that's a question that's so deep and would take hours to even go back to. Because if you really think about it, man, the problems don't stem from what we did. I know my lineage. I know my history of my family. Black people was having it their way in the 50s and in the 60s. And we had families and we was together, the Black Wall Streets. That wasn't just there, so it wasn't until the crack era came and all of these different things, which I think is systematic, that broke up the family. And once you break up the family, it's like you said, you have no structure, you have no leadership. What happens to a people when you have no structure? You have no leadership, you have no morals, you have no principles, you have no aligned principles on how people view things. But I'm not going to take it back that far and make it that deep. Let's just say what I see today that's fucked up. Most black people come from a broken family, which means you have a single mother, single father, right? If you have a single mother or a single father and you got a bunch of kids, who's raising the kids? In this day and age, it's social media, right? Social media and podcasts and music. What are they promoting? What are the music companies specifically promoting to our culture in the music? Sexy Red, City Girls, Mega Stallion, what's the other one? Cardi B. What are they talking about in these songs? Our culture, if you ever really look at it, is always based on the music. People aren't raised by their family. We have no family units. So where do you get your information on? Where do you get your ideology for how you should treat a man? Because you didn't see a good relationship growing up. So you can't mimic something you never saw. So you go out your house to find where you get your ideology, and you're getting your ideology from this music, this trash music, this garbage music, and you're seeing that outplay in the community. That's what I think. I think it's the lack of family foundations. We have broken families, so we don't have any real structure. We don't have any real teaching on your morals, on how things are supposed to go. You ain't never seen a great relationship between your parents, so how can you have one? So where do you go to get your information about it? Your favorite rapper, Cardi B, Sexy Red, Sukiana, what are they talking about? Fucking nigga, get some money. This, that, and the third. So they're internalizing that ideology of this is how you're supposed to be, and how is a man going to respond?
I got you specifically. Yeah, I got you. Black men, what can we do as we're supposed to be? So I'm of the opinion that when it comes to black men, black women, you can't put the responsibility of, we just talked about the systematic causes that we are now seeing the effects of. But I'm thinking, and I'm going forever to day I die, I'm going forever put the responsibility of turning this thing around on the man, because the man is supposed to be the leader. 100%. And I am of the opinion that even though black women are on their own independent shit and on their own, they never. So listen, the grandmama is 52. Her daughter is 39. Her daughter who's 39, she is 24. The 24-year-old got a kid, a daughter that's 8, right? So ain't no man in that equation nowhere.
No.
So the 8-year-old little girl, she ain't got no daddy, no granddaddy, no, and the great grandmama's still alive. The great granny was just 54. You said she's 54. You ain't seen no man have a positive impact on none of these females. So all you getting is the hyper, especially black men. So black women is an issue too, but the young black boys who are raised up in situations where they are seeing no positive black male role models at all, right? They ain't even seeing no male, like you just said, the role models they seeing come from YouTube and this fake ass rap shit that we see going on, right? Exactly. So when you have the absence of men through across generations like that, that's a problem for us. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna ask you a question, Goldie. I'm from Detroit, bro.
Yeah,
I grew up between Pontiac, Michigan, and Detroit, which is 10 minutes from each other. They say black men ain't shit. Black men don't take care of their kids. Black men don't do this. Black men don't do that. The funny thing about that, bro, you're from Sacramento. I'm from Detroit. Everybody who I know growing up in the hood had a stepfather, had somebody who their mother was dealing with who was standing in the role as a stepfather, good, bad, ugly, right? So black men were doing it. It wasn't like this black man just said fuck the whole community and let get the fuck on, right? Because you have everybody I know had a stepdaddy, bro. So black men were in households doing something, maybe not with their own kids. So my thing is, do you believe that it's the black man's responsibility to grab this problem that we have as a people and try to formulate some type of answers and solutions to this shit? Is it the black man's job to step up and take control of our community, bro?
Well, I would say it like this. If you were asking me that question directly, is it my job to step up and handle this problem? I say, fuck no, because it ain't my problem. Mm-hmm. How I feel is like this. You ever heard that song by Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror? You want to change anything, you got to start with yourself, man. Fuck the problem. You know, handle your business in your household, right? I don't really care what women out here are acting like. I care about what my woman gonna act like. And I'm always gonna look and find the type of woman conducive to my ideology. And I'm gonna deal with her. And I've never been able not to find a plethora of women who act in the manner that you and I are accustomed to. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm not worried about trying to change the human condition. That's not my job. You know, I'm not that righteous, but I'll change the future of my lineage when I get with a woman who's on my understanding and cooperative with my ideology, and we have a family and we have kids and we raise kids who are going to have the same ideology. It's not my job to save everybody, but I will save the people that I choose to deal with. And I feel like that's what everybody should do. If you just made sure you started treating women or finding the women with the right ideology and building a family with them, you build your family with that ideology, then we'll have a bunch of different families. You raise your son with this certain mindset, he's not going to give attention to women who act out of pocket, which will, if enough men stop giving these women the A-OK to act like that and still deal with them, they'll change. So it does, like you said, it does start with the man, but it starts with me first. It starts with my family. It starts with me teaching my cousins, my nephews, my son. And then that program that I put into him will live out in his life, and maybe that'll make a change. But as far as trying to get on the mic and try to change everybody, that's not how I go about it.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I do not disagree with you, brother, because they always say that change starts from within, right? Not out. It starts from within. So if you are a conscious-minded person, if you are in the know, if you have been schooled in a particular fashion, the change that you want to see happen, you make sure that the change is reflected in what you bring up. You make sure you give your kids that game.
You know, and you know, it's like you said, I don't know what it is. I don't know how it came to be, but most men were never taught to be men. Most men, you know, they don't like how these women act, but they deal with them anyway. They never were taught that.
Why is that though? Why is that, Goldie? Why
they're affirming this poor behavior? If men did not give women who acted in these certain ways attention, I guarantee you they wouldn't act like that. They act like that because men are still dealing with them anyway, even though these dudes don't even like it. But it's like you said, most of these dudes grew up around you know, they mama, they this, they sister, they like whatever. You know, they don't have enough within themselves to say, nah, I ain't fucking with that. No, I ain't doing that. Something will happen. She'll do something he don't like, and he'll say in his mind he don't like it, but he like, I don't want to fuck this up. I'm gonna deal with her anyway. You know, and that just comes from a lack of principles within yourself. And if you didn't have a man who was teaching you heavy on principles, heavy on manhood, heavy on, you know, your honor about what you will and won't deal with, then you're gonna accept anything. And if you accept anything, these women's gonna act however they want to act. So, like you said, it go back to the man.
It absolutely does. Let's talk about women. I'm assuming you're a world traveler, so you've dealt with women from different nationalities.
Oh man, I'm shit deeper than that. Yeah, but yeah, I've dealt with every type of woman you can think of.
Okay, the difference between is there a quantitative difference between black women and women from other nationalities and other cultures?
Yeah, for sure.
What are some of the stark differences between black women and how they deal with black men versus how women from other nationalities and other races deal with black men?
Okay, so it's like this. A black woman who deals with a black man is under a certain understanding because she comes from the black culture. She can see things that the other culture, white, an Asian, something like that, they can't see because they're not from our culture. From the outside looking into them, it all looks the same. This is a black man, right? But the black woman, she's a little bit sharper because she's in the culture. She knows these little different nuances. She could smell that fake shit. She could smell when a nigga's front. She could smell when a nigga's a fraud, and she's gonna call them out on it. In these other cultures, they can't peep it so much, you know? So some dudes say, well, black women this, black women that. It's just black women know you full of shit. The black woman knows you was a fraud. She can smell it and she's not scared to say something. That white woman doesn't know. And a lot of times black dudes go and deal with these white women because he knows that he a fraud and he knows she don't see it.
So is that why? So listen, so is that why some black men gravitate towards women from different cultures? Because
it's easier. It's going to be easier to finesse. It's going to be easier. And like I said, you ain't nobody over here. To them, they still looking at you through the lens of this is a rapper, this black dude, this, that, and the third. That's you this to them. You a rapper to them. To this black woman who know black people, man, you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You's a fraud. You this, you that. You can pull one over on them. You can act however you want to act and, you know, pop your shit and she gonna be excited like, yup. Like that black woman ain't going for that. And she gonna call you out about it. And you don't like that. You don't like that she gonna expose that you a fraud with her. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her one of these over here. It's easy. She ain't compete nothing. I can do what I want to do and how I want to do. Now I'm not saying that's all situations, but honestly, I know a lot of black dudes. And the ones that talk about they don't deal with white women, most of the time it's because nigga, you's a fraud. And these women can see it and they gonna have an attitude about it. And so you don't like that. So you're gonna go over here and this white woman, she might think you a fraud, but she gonna deal with it anyway. It's not in her culture to be combative like that. A black woman, when she got a problem, she gonna say it. This white woman over here, she might have a problem. She ain't gonna say it to you like that. So you like the easier situation. And then, you know, if we going on that topic, not all the time, but I know black men, I know whose moms treated them like shit, whose older sisters treated them like shit. And it's a, you know, internalized, they kind of hate their blackness and they really hate their mama and they really don't want to reproduce and have kids that look like their mama because they've been traumatized from a black woman. You know, that's some of it too.
That's ism. I mean, let me see.
But it's many layers to it.
That's ism right there.
It's so many layers to it. And then, you know, we got the ones where you feel these dudes really feel like, I don't care if it be I'm not gonna keep saying white. It could be the ugliest woman. I don't care. But if she's Asian, if she's white, if she's what they call Kim Kardashian, you feel like you that dude. You feel like you got status when you have one of these races on your arm rather than when you have black, because you've been conditioned just like everybody else through the music, through TV, that black people are not as valuable. And you've internalized that and don't even really know it. And that's why you want one of these so bad, because it makes you feel like, oh, I did that. I did something by having this. This makes me, you know, feel something, feel better. But it's so many levels to it, though.
There's levels to this.
You know what? I just don't like the narrative that all black women act in a certain way. That's not the case. That's the ones that you deal with. I know tons of black women. Yes, there's black women that act a certain type of way. It's white women who act a certain type of way. It's some hood-ass Asian women who act a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like the narrative that, oh, we don't deal with black women because black women are combative. That's not all black women. That's black women towards a nigga who she feel like ain't shit, and most of you niggas ain't shit, and you a fraud, and they can peep it, and so they treat you accordingly.
Yeah. So listen, when I tap this microphone, that means you hit a motherfucking point. Now mean I can't hear you. That mean when I tap this bitch, that mean that ism on the flow. Ism on the motherfucking flow.
That's just my observation, and I feel like when everybody has this topic of conversation, they skip over that part.
Right. Game Gawd Goldie's in the motherfucking building, man. Listen, it's Game Gawd Goldie, bro. You might as well just Game Gawd Goldie ass. You young Goldie. It's like Lil Wayne. It's just Wayne now. You hear me?
It's just Jeezy now.
Yeah, it is what it is. Let's talk about one of the terms or phrases that I have the most problem with is it ain't tricking if you got it.
Here we go.
So, and I couldn't wait to do this interview because I could have asked you off camera. I could have texted you. I could have FaceTimed you, right? So listen, I'm not even going to preamble this shit with a long ass interlude into this question, bro. I'm from a city where we know what tricking is for real, right? Yeah. So my thing is in the Lil Wayne generation, I'm not from the Lil Wayne generation, bro. I'm old. I'm 51. I'm from the Too Short generation, right?
Right.
I'm a Short Dog fan, bro. So when I'm hearing last 15, 20 years, when Atlanta took over the music scene, that's when the whole stripper with hip hop and ain't tricking if you got it, throw money on a bitch.
Because they made tricking look so good.
So they made
niggas made tricking look. Oh, I gotta get like that. You ain't doing it if you ain't tricking. They made that shit look good.
Bill Clinton was tricking with Monica Lewinsky in the White House, get capped off in that bitch. That was a trick. That was a trick move. Favor for a favor, bitch. You hear me? So listen. So it ain't tricking if you got it. I think that phrase was most popularized by Lil Wayne when he said it in the song, right? So when I heard that shit, I think I was in prison when I started hearing that shit, right? And I said, Lord. I say the definition of tricking is paying a woman for her time, paying a woman for her attention, paying a woman to deal with you in a manner, whether it's sex or just time spent, that she wouldn't ordinarily do if there was no monetary gain associated with her dealing with you.
And
the whole time was tricky. Go, I'm listening.
I'm glad you said that. Let's remember what you just said, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer what you asked me. But we're gonna come back to that. Mm-hmm. It ain't tricking if you got it. But last I checked, to trick you have to give something to the woman. Right. So you have to have it to trick. If you didn't have it, you couldn't trick. So that's just null and void. But I'm gonna take it a little bit deeper than that. To say it ain't tricking if you got it is somebody projecting their insecurity about being a trick and waving some money in the air to try to feel better about what they're doing, that they feel some type of way about doing. It's like when fat niggas with money say, this the baller belly because I'm eating good, throwing their money around and shit. You still a fat nigga. Just because you have money, don't change that. You still a fat, sloppy nigga. It's really, you're trying to put this money out there to make you feel better about something you feel bad about. And what I like to say is, why do you feel bad about tricking? 99% of men are tricks in a roundabout way. If you think about it, let's go back to your definition. Most men will take a woman out to eat, take a Starbucks, pay for a meal, do this, do that, have a good time with her, all in the efforts just to have sex. He doesn't even want her to be his wife or girlfriend. So really, he paid all of this money just so he could have sex. Maybe he's a trick. It's just a roundabout way he went about it. So my thing is this: don't be ashamed about being a trick. You know what I'm saying? Most men are tricks. It is what it is. Don't be ashamed about it by saying it ain't tricking if you got it. You tricking. It is what it is. What you say the definition of tricking was: paying a woman for her time or attention that she wouldn't normally do if you didn't pay her. Dudes do that shit all day, every day. She wouldn't even have came to your table if you didn't have that bottle, right? Mm-hmm. She wouldn't have went out on that date with you if you didn't pay for the meal. So dudes are tricking every single day, in roundabout ways. So don't feel bad about it. If you a trick, man, you a trick. But we gonna call it what it is, though. That's what we gonna do. We gonna call it what it is, and it's tricking for sure.
Yeah, it's tricking for sure. Because both of them, well, it ain't tricking if you just don't understand. You ain't got no money, so you. I said, what? So listen, so you niggas is serious or no? I'm scratching my head about this shit because the pandemic really, and the reason why I asked you that question, Goldie, is because listen, brother, The pandemic, niggas showed their ass in the pandemic, right?
Yeah,
You had niggas who were not even hustlers. The pandemic opened up the Pandora's box of money.
They gonna make a documentary about the fucking pandemic. Man.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to. Cause listen, man, the pandemic, you had niggas who was not hustlers. They wasn't drug dealers. They wasn't even real scammers. Them pandemic niggas are not real scammers, bro. They not. No, real scammers come from the uttering and publishing, check whitewashing day. These niggas, they just money felt. Listen, the world, it was a worldwide crisis where you have millions of people died and threw the world economy into a flux to where they start to give money to help re-inspire and stimulate the economy. And when niggas got that money, these niggas didn't listen. Go, I know a nigga who was up 700,000 up cash off the play. Unemployment and PPP is up 700. This nigga, he went and rented a house in West Bloomfield. Now, in West Bloomfield's like Malibu or Calabasas or some shit like that, right? Yeah. Right? It's like he wasn't staying in Miami. This nigga was staying on Collins, according to this West Bloomfield shit. He's renting a house for $2,800 a month. Rent it, right? He went and bought him, you know how niggas do. He went and bought him an S550. Yeah. He went and bought him a Range Rover, right? He went and bought him because Detroit, we were big on the Harleys with the big 30-inch wheel in front of that motherfucker. Yeah, they went and spent $100,000 on the Harley, right? And then Goldie, but that none of that is, he went and bought them a chain, 6 Mile, Boo Boo, Killer Man, Fool, Mike, Rolly, Bust Down, Rolly, Anniversary. Niggas went crazy. Cartier, you know how we do. Niggas, we some nigga shit, right? Listen, bro. Let me tell you something. That's not the issue. How you went in the band, because most of these niggas went to buy shit they couldn't. They saw the ballers, they saw the rappers with it, so they wanted to be like that, right? And they did it in an attention-seeking fashion to get attention from other niggas and from bitches who ordinarily would never have turned their gaze towards them, right? Yeah. These niggas didn't go turn their baby mama up. They ain't turn their wife up. These niggas went to the strip clubs. From LA to fucking Maine, nigga. They went to the strip clubs and got the bitch who they been getting a lap dance from, who they been trying to get paid $200-$300 to fuck the hoe wasn't going for it. These niggas jumped in the S550 with the chain, Rolex, glasses on, went in the strip club, big ass at the bitch, and now they feeling sporty. Went there and pulled the bitch up out of there, knowing this bitch would not have ever fucked with you. She wasn't fucking with you. Yeah. They wouldn't turn these bitches up. Then get. I know I'm doing too much talking. Watch it here. Domestic violence went up 10,000% during the pandemic because you were stuck in the house with that ugly bitch that you know you ain't want, right? When they open up them goddamn gates and let niggas move around with their pandemic money, these niggas, the nigga who I know was up 700 grand, Goldie, this nigga, he in county jail right now with child support. Nigga, this nigga 2 years ago, he had $700,000 in 2022. I seen it with my own two eyes. He in jail right now for child support, and nigga ain't going to get him out. You know why? Because when you pay a child support bond, they taking it. Taking it.
Yeah.
Hell, I ain't get my bond money back. Hell no. Right? So my thing is, what the fuck was that about?
Listen. Now that's why there's two types of tricks. And that's the type of trick that you're ashamed to be. Because there's one type there's a professional trick, right? The businessman, the guy who understands it's pay for play. I don't got time to be out here chasing, taking you on dates, having you come back in your feelings and telling my wife, I'm gonna pay for what I want. I get what I want, you leave. Right? He's more efficient than the dude taking a woman on a date and doing this, all that for the same outcome. That's a respectable trick. He's paying for what he wants and she gone. Now, these dudes is when you call somebody a trick, you mean it in a disrespectful way because it's unrespectable. Nigga, you went out there and when it turned to broad up that don't like you at all, bought her this, bought her that, took her out to dinner, and you really just did it for the attention. You wasn't even guaranteed the pussy at the end. It's when it's that unrespectable behavior when you say trick, you mean it in that disrespectful way. You goofy. You just went out there and you're so lacking within yourself. You have such lack of self-respect. You know this woman is only dealing with you for your money, and you okay with it.
That's some shit. Listen, motherfucker talking about, dog, you tripping, you bad bitch, a bag. I'm gonna buy a broke bitch with nothing, with a bag to put what in it.
And that's the shit niggas be talking about when they say trick in a disrespectful way. Cause that's just, come on. You have that such low self-esteem that you would really spend that much money on a woman that you don't know, that you know she wouldn't deal with you unless you did it. You should have just went and paid a prostitute and got some pussy, man. Stop lying to yourself. You think because you're doing this, you're gonna get her to like you, or you're acting as if she actually likes you, when deep down inside, you know she wouldn't even deal with you if you didn't buy her that. Just go pay for some pussy. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And be done with it. But that's the worst type of trick. You actually believe in the lies that this woman is telling you because you're giving her this money. But deep down inside, you know the truth.
I don't even know if the chicks was telling these niggas his lies. I think the niggas approached them with that money in their hand they finally got. Yeah. I believe that they believe I'm comparable to the
I know women who was telling me, oh, he said he just want to take me out to the to Fifth Avenue. Right. And I'll get you a bag. He been wanting me for so long. I'm gonna just take you out to Fifth Avenue. Like, that's how they was coming. That's how they was really coming.
The pandemic boys, they listen. I don't give a fuck what mall you went to. I'm a traveling motherfucker, right? When they open this bitch back up, I'm at that Ball Harbor, right? I'm at Somerset in Detroit. We at Phipps. I don't even go to Lenox. When niggas talking about Atlanta and malls, I don't go to no motherfucking Lenox. I'm on no fucking. There's nothing in Lenox. Nah. Sidebar. Side note, nigga. For all, if you still told us you go to Lenox, what's in Lenox? Nothing, nigga. The Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada is crossed there in Phipps. That ain't shit there. Side note. But listen, so it's a whole culture started because the niggas who was giving them chicks all that money, when they start to fall off, Goldie, because this is where they fall off. They fall off because you went and bought an S550, a Range Rover. All the hoes had Maseratis, Goldie. Every bitch in the mirror, every black bitch, every no good whore from the strip club had a Maserati, yep. Right? Nigga, what you don't know, when that money stopped, now you have $2,800 a month house note. You leasing your own shit, right? You ain't buy the car. You got it from a broker, and you finesse. You don't own the bitch, right? That car note, $1,400 a month, $20. Nigga, you bought a Range Rover, a Maserati. I'm talking about dog. He had S550, the Range Rover, the long one, the one Jay-Z was talking about. Oh, that's a 4 point. That's 4 point. The long one, the long big bitch, right? He bought the bitch a Maserati. Oh, every stripper had Maserati. You know I ain't lying.
Yep.
Right. Maserati, Range Rover, baby, Range Rover, baby.
Oh, I seen this shit with my own eyes. This shit with my own eyes.
When that money dried up, Goldie, what's he? Because these niggas who never had no money before, or never had large quantities of money at one time, so they could go out and do shit, right? When that money stopped, these nigga, that S550 oil change, nigga, that's $450, $500 for the oil change, nigga. One tire is $500, $550 for one run flat, right? That motherfucking cabin filter, that's $200 for the cabin filter to filter out the shit from your car. Niggas start Indian giving, Goldie. The term niggas was beating bitches' ass, taking them watches back, taking them custom chains back, taking them cars back. I know bitches who had to hide their cars in their mama backyard, stop a nigga. Niggas was breaking in hoes' houses, taking purses back, everything.
I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes. I seen dudes come out here. They was on their wave, and they caught the broad that they would have never been able to catch otherwise. And she was only fucking with him because he was doing this, buying this, taking her and her friends out to eat, taking her and her friends on vacation, this, that, and the third. She would have never dealt with this man otherwise. Shit is over, the wave gone, the money gone. Now she unhappy in a relationship and she split. And you spent half of your money on that broad, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you call, and that's the type of trick that you say it in a disrespectful way. Nigga, you should have just bought you some pussy. It would have been way cheaper. But you actually believe that you have such low self-esteem. What's up with niggas with such low self-esteem that you went out and had you a girlfriend that you knew would never even be with you if you didn't have no money and you was okay with that? You have that such low self-esteem that you know she would never fuck with you if you wasn't paying for everything, and you still go to sleep every night. Like, I'm fine with that.
I got another question that piggybacks off of that. Perfect segue. Is it the women's fault for taking advantage of guys?
Hell no. Man, shit. At the end of the day, everybody trying to win, right? Nigga, I mean, she ain't put a gun to this nigga head. If you gonna give me all of this shit, you a lick. Everybody want a lick. You a lick, nigga. You get what you deserve. You didn't have to give her that shit. If my companionship is worth that much to you, shit, who am I to say, no, I don't want it because I don't really like you like that? You ain't had to give it to me. You know what I'm saying? I applaud a woman. Hey, everybody got to hustle. That's the easiest hustle. Work smarter, not harder. She could have went to the club and did this, that, and the third. But for the past 2 years during the pandemic, she was living her best life. A life that she could never afford for herself because this nigga just wanted her around. Shit, kudos to you. Hope you save some of that money.
No, they didn't. And another thing is, motherfuckers went from crab boils. I know you seen it. We from nigga, it was crab bitches. Bitch, I know you got. It was crab boils. Bitches got mercury poison. You know that swamp ass shit. You hear me? Bitch got mercury poison. You know they don't seafood. Bitch whole pussy smell like stink. Smell like a crawdad. Bitch, you stink. Bitch, you eat mercury every day. You ain't seen it. Tell me when the last time you seen a bitch do a crab boil.
You don't see it. I mean, you know, honestly, too, when you really think about that whole wave and everything, I think the entire economy, everybody money pile up from that time is going down, even the white people. And that's why they talking about recession, because everybody money done dwindled down now. The PPP loans that they was getting done dwindled down now. So everybody's slowing down.
The time paying PPP, but you hear me? And Joe Biden, what you think of that? What, did you see me cuss Joe Biden out? Have you ever seen me on Joe Biden?
I didn't see that.
Man, fuck Kamala Harris, stinking ass, and fuck Joe Biden. Make Trump. I know that Trump and I know that Congress and the Senate are the ones who gave us the stimulus. I know that, but it's just, what do you think about Donald J. Trump? Honest opinion. Sad note.
Donald Trump, man, I like Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? He, because he real. He say what he feel, even if it's controversial, and you got to respect that. I mean, you can say he say it's real. He's still a politician, but I just like his swagger about him. You know, he gonna say what he feel, even if I don't agree with what he's saying. I'm like, damn, he really said that. Oh, my type of dude. He say what he feel. At least I could at least feel like I know who he is. He ain't gonna lie to me.
Listen, and politicians have been trained first to lie and to gerrymander to tell you what it is they think you want to hear in order to solicit your motherfucking vote. That's one. Number two, like you just said, I'm gonna tell you when Donald Trump won me over. That nigga said, man, fuck the FBI. Ain't none of them shit. Fuck them. See, there's some lying motherfuckers. They've been lying on black people since COINTELPRO. There's some lying motherfuckers. Fuck them. You can't believe them. Fire the director.
Damn, he said that?
Yes, I'm paraphrasing, but Donald Trump said, man, fuck them. They dirty, they no good, they wretched. There's some lying motherfuckers. You can't trust the FBI. Fuck them.
Damn.
When he said that, you right there, you ain't never seen a politician say fuck the FBI, fuck law enforcement. That's the head of law enforcement.
Yeah.
You don't get no higher than that in this country. When he said that, let's get it. It is what it is. The Game Gawd is in the building. It's DawgfaceTV live on YouTube. Young Goldie. We're gonna work on the young part because you got so much game that we're gonna have to migrate you into on OG status now. You ain't on OG status now. You hear me? You ain't no young whippersnapper no more, man. You seasoned. You hear me? The responsibility to pay 100% of the bills if you're in a relationship. Is it the man's responsibility, or should it be the man's responsibility to pay 100% of the bills in this economy and in this space and time? Even if a woman works, a job and makes just as much money as you do, is it your responsibility to pay 100% of the bills, or just in general, should she keep her money in the bank while you pay everything?
And I feel like 100% every man should do whatever he feels like doing. That's how I feel. It's a man's responsibility to live by whatever principles and morals he has. And every situation is different. If there's one man out here that wants to pay 100% for his household and his woman, and she don't got to work, that's his prerogative. If it's a man out here who says, I want 50-50 in this relationship, that's his prerogative. If it's a man out here who says, no, the bro got to come in here and provide everything, that's his prerogative. And to me, no man can tell another man what a man should do. See, because all of these rules of society were made up by other men. And why are those men's words more valid than ours? They just came before us. Every man should live according to whatever doctrine he believes. And nobody should be able to tell any other man how he should live. And every situation is different. That's how I feel. I feel like there's no one, a man should do this. Who says? Right? And when people say, this is what a man do, where did you hear that from? And who did they hear that from? And why are you listening to something? But did you run it through your own mind and say, does it make sense? Not what has been said, not what has been traditionally done, but how do you feel about it?
Well, I have daughters. I have 4. And I raised my daughters to understand that, first of all, these niggas are not your grandfather ass niggas. These niggas are not equipped to pay 100% of shit, right? One, we can say that, hey, listen, when the man was traditionally, customarily 30, 40, 50 years ago paying 100% of bills because black you couldn't work. Women you couldn't work. The man had to go out.
And you could support an entire family off of a factory job and pay for everything and have money left over.
Absolutely. I raised my daughters. I tell my daughters, hey, listen, you need to get the education and training necessary so that you can either create a business or have a job or career that will allow you to take care of yourself. When you do that, you put yourself in the unique position to where you don't necessarily need a man and you're not looking for support from him to survive.
That right there is some game that a lot of women don't get. See, what they don't really understand when they put themselves in a position where I'm looking for a man who's going to take care of me, and only a man who can take care of me is worthy of me. What you don't really realize is going to happen is you're putting yourself in a bad position, because now this man has control and you are at the whims of his financial prowess. And how money works, man. Somebody could be rich, poor tomorrow. Now you're going to live and die by what that man does because you decided that you're going to depend on him. You have no business prowess. You don't know if he's doing right with the business, wrong with the business. He could be scamming for the business. He could be running a Ponzi scheme. And your entire life at 30, 40, 50 years old can go to absolutely zero because you depend on nothing but on your husband. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to get into a situation where I can support myself no matter what. And this is icing on the cake. Not to mention, a whole different piece of just some esoteric shit. What about how I feel? Because guess what? When you're looking for a man who's going to provide for you 100%, now your options are like this. When you can support yourself and don't need a man to support you, you can pick who you like, who you vibe with, who you're compatible with, who's going to treat you how you want to be treated. If you deal with a man who's paying for everything, you're going to yield to maybe something, characteristics and different things that you don't really like just because he's paying for everything. In my mind, I would rather teach somebody it's better to be self-sufficient. Then you could pick the man that you want to pick, not the man that you got to pick.
Absolutely. That's ism. That mic tap. That's some ism on the motherfucker. Should a black man in 2024, should he trust his woman 100%?
Man, you should 100% trust your woman to be exactly who she showed herself to be. And anybody can vouch for this. Any friend that fucked you over, any woman that fucked you over, you always look back and said there were signs. People can't hide who they are for too long. You know exactly who she is. You just chose to overlook things. Trust her to be exactly who she's shown herself to be. And if she showed her hand on one occasion in a foul way, in a suspect way, understand that didn't come from anywhere. You know, that came from somewhere and it's going to rise its head and that character is in there somewhere. So make a note of it and trust that to happen again, or expound that out times 10 or times 100, what it could be. I would say trust your woman to be exactly who she is. And then at the end of the day, trust human beings to be human beings. You really don't know who you with. You really don't even know yourself. We are circumstantial creatures. If you were in a different country with a different father in a different city, you sound different, talk different, believe in different things. And your situation dictates who you are. If I gave most people $1 million right now, you talk to them in 6 months, they'd be a completely different person. You don't know what your woman could be with you 10 years. Drake ain't never came up to her and said, hey, baby, come with me, fuck with me. She ain't never had that option. So you don't know what the fuck she gonna do. I don't care if she been with you 10 years. She ain't never been in that position, so you don't know what the fuck she gonna do. She don't even know what the fuck she gonna do. So she could be with you 10 years, but you can't give her so much credit. Have you been in a position like that where you denied it? No, you haven't. So how loyal are you really? You're really picking the best option. And I don't say that to say, oh, the nigga's the best option. Even if a woman says, okay, this dude want to fuck with me, this dude want to fuck with me. If she's still with you, it's because deep down inside, she knows that she can't have that dude the way she wants him, or that dude only gonna fuck her and not. You're still the best option. So because you're the best option, you can't never give a bitch too much credit for fucking with you because you're the best option. You get what I'm saying? And I say that to say this. Trust in somebody, as far as you know, this person has never been in a position to have $10 million. You don't know who that is. You give $10 million to most people, they're not going to be with the person they're with right now. So she's supposed to get credit because she done stuck by me. She ain't never been in a position to not stick by me. So why am I giving her so much credit and so much loyalty? So I say that to say, man, just trust people to be people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Again, another perfect segue. When it comes to family and friends, does loyalty have a time limitation on it?
Oh man, time is it? Does loyalty have a time limitation on it?
Right.
I mean, loyalty is a tricky thing because a lot of times loyalty is not genuine. Somebody's only loyal to you because they need your loyalty back, and your loyalty holds a lot more weight than their loyalty. A lot of people want to come around and call you bro and do favors for you, but you really the big homie. You don't really need his favors, but he want to call you bro and he want to do favors for you, and he want to show you he loyal to you, so you in turn feel obligated to be loyal to him but you got more status, you got more money, you got more power, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people use loyalty as a manipulation tactic to keep you in they hook. You get what I'm saying? So I would say, I mean, of course, if somebody do things for you and somebody to hold you down to a point, yeah, you should return the favor. But at the end of the day, if somebody's doing something for you just so you're loyal back, it's not genuine. And if it's not genuine, then I don't feel like I'm obligated to return that loyalty, because you weren't loyal to be loyal. You were being loyal to manipulate me for me to be loyal back to you and benefit in some way or fashion. It's called like the Godfather effect. Like people at the airport or like monks or door to door, they walk up to you with a bracelet and they say, here, I want to give this to you. You're like, oh, thank you. And as soon as they give it to you, they turn around and say, oh, well, we're taking donations, because they understand the human condition is you're going to feel obligated to want to give something back. It's manipulation. People do that with loyalty the same way. They only doing something for you, so you will in turn do something back for them. And that's not really loyalty anyway. So I would say, no, it ain't. It's an expiration date on loyalty. I mean, it's like this. Man, if you got me out of bind in 2004, man, how long is it that I'm obligated to, have your back? You know what I'm saying? If my brother stopped me from drowning when I was 3, man, how long you gonna hold that over my head? You know what I'm saying? So it's also intuitive, but what I really is stressing on is that manipulation. People use that loyalty. It's just manipulation. I see it, men do with women all the time. They throw that loyalty around and make you feel bad to keep you in a hook. I'm
finna hit you upside the head with something, Goldie. I'm finna ask you the 1,000-pound question in the room. I'm gonna give you 3 females, and I want you to tell me which one of these females you think, based on your intellectual prowess, based on your knowledge, based on your understanding of all things human, which one of these women do you think that you can turn into your ideal version of a woman? 3 women.
All right.
Sexy Red. You choose one and then tell me why. Sexy Red, Sukiana, Glorilla. Out of those 3 women, which one, if I put those 3 women, if I say, hey, these 3 women here are their phone numbers. They're interested in you. They're interested in seeing what tip you on and hearing how you come down on this shit. You hear me? Sexy Red, Glorilla, Sukiana. Which one of these women would you take? You think you and how you come with your shit would be most effective on turning them into a woman that you would be proud to have your arm?
Okay. I'm gonna X out Sukiana off the dribble.
You gonna get rid of Suki with the good pussy off the bail?
I'm gonna X her out off the dribble just because it kind of seemed like Sexy Red came up under Sukiana, and Sexy Red blew up bigger than Sukiana, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna take the person who I feel like could take me the farthest. In between Sexy Red and Glorilla, I think Glorilla will have the biggest. Sexy Red thing might fade out, but I feel like Glorilla got a little bit of talent, so she might go further. So I'm gonna pick the woman with the brightest future that I'm gonna try to attach myself to. I'm strictly going off of that because they all, she seemed like she might got the brightest future. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with Glorilla, man, and I'm gonna be at them parties and I'm gonna be at them clubs and I'm gonna be right there. Hey, this me. Hey, yeah, this mine right here. You dig what I'm saying?
Get my dick.
I'm gonna ride that. I'm gonna ride that motherfucking wave. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna play my position. I ain't finna get over there heavy-handed with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, baby. I'm here. Right.
I'm here for tactical support.
Straight up.
I'm here for tactical with Young Goldie, aka the Game Gawd. This is the motherfucking building. Hey, listen, bro. Let's just say this conversation. Let's say this conversation goes viral, right? What would be the parting message? I'm gonna let you close this motherfucker out, bro. And hopefully I can get a part 2 with you, bro.
We can do this shit every day if you wanted to, man. So
listen, I'm gonna let you close out. This is no longer DawgfaceTV. This is the Young Goldie, aka the Game Gawd Hour. Take this motherfucker home.
Well, shit, man. You know how it is. Man, I preach nothing but being a man. Manhood is everything. Before you anything, you got to be a man. Everything start with the man. When a man is in his rightful position, a woman is in her rightful position. So stop worrying about and talking about these women out here. Get yourself right. You're going to attract what you are. You attract ain't shit women because you ain't shit, man. Just keep it real with yourself and look in the mirror, right? When you level up, you'll meet leveled up women. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't going to put nothing on women. You know what I'm saying? We always gonna put it on the man. We always gonna bring it back to ourselves, and that's what I'm all about too, man. Improving myself, man. I ain't gonna blame nobody. If I want better, then I'm gonna become better and I'm gonna attract better, man.
It is what it is. Young Goldie, Game Gawd is in the building, man. What's your social media? Give everything out, man. How do we reach you? How we find you? You have projects. You have
Young Goldie _ on Instagram. Check my YouTube because, man, I'm about to come with it on there. The Goldie ratio, I'll probably change that, but the Goldie ratio on YouTube right now. I got a TikTok. I don't even know what that is. And that's it, man. Find me on Instagram and you can find all my handles from there.
Yeah, the ticker at the bottom of that screen is Young Goldie _ Instagram. Y'all know what it is, man. I appreciate the conversation, bro. Blessings to you, bro.
And I appreciate you inviting me on your platform. I hope this give me some traction, man. And all that game you was giving me about the YouTube, man, I'm gonna put that into action.
It's on and popping, more. Salute, man. Be safe, be productive, brother.
I appreciate it.
Salute.